Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Laura, and welcome to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to give you the 5 tips you need to know in order to pass the CritiCall test. So if you're interested, then you definitely need to stay tuned to this video. So number 5, multiple choice questions. It is imperative that you have test-taking skills. Test-taking skills are going to be crucial for your multiple choice questions. So I'm thinking in particular the map portion. I know a lot of people have said I get really confused on the maps, like I'm having a hard time with the north, south, east, and west. Okay, perfect example. So on the CritiCall test, on the portion with the map, it doesn't actually tell you that you have to determine which way north, south, east, and west is. It gives you 4 answer choices. So I would suggest doing some test-taking skills. So you read the question first. I always read the question so that I know what I'm looking for in the answer. And then I look at the answer choices. So if it says that I'm trying to get from the school to the hospital, which direction will I take? If I know that the first step I'm going to do is go from north to south, then I'm going to look on those answer choices for the one that starts with go north 3 blocks. If something's telling me that I need to go east first, then I automatically know that that's not a good answer, that's not going to be the answer. Tip number 5 is definitely practice test-taking skills. All right, the fourth tip for passing the CritiCall test is practice your typing skills. Oh my gosh, guys, I cannot tell you how important knowing how to type is. If you do not know how to type, you will not pass CritiCall. If you do not know how to type, you will not pass. You have to know how to type. You have to be able to type. For most agencies, I think it's at least 35 words per minute. Now, while I'm talking to you now about knowing how to type, I'm going to have some websites that you can go on to practice your typing, and I'll also leave them down in the description box below. It's so important for you not to have to search on the keyboard for certain keys while you're talking or while you're listening to someone speak and you're dictating what they type. The reason for that is you need to be actively listening. So as you are listening to what they're saying, you're able to make decisions, you're able to type, you're able to figure out what's next. So to have one of those things kind of already done, like typing, just using your memory, that's almost, for me, I feel like it's muscle memory. To have that type of knowledge in your mind already and you just can kind of do it without even thinking about it, I feel is imperative. Every CritiCall test that I have taken, I had to know how to type. There was some type of typing test, whether it was I'm typing, it was an Aesop's Fable, whether I'm typing that, or whether I'm typing what someone is saying. I had one CritiCall that as I was getting the information, they were calculating how fast I was typing it in. I didn't even know that they were going to be doing it that way. So it's so important that you know how to type. Number 3, along with knowing how to type, I think it's also important to have someone speaking to you and you're typing what they say. Now I know what you're thinking, oh my gosh, that just sounds overwhelming. But that's what you're doing as a 911 dispatcher. You're listening to someone talk and you're typing what they say. So just to make it a little simple for you, my suggestion to practice this would be to go onto YouTube. Hey, here we are on YouTube. Go into YouTube and type in Brown Bear, the book. Like listen to an audio book like of a children's like a children's book that has rhymes, like a Dr. Seuss book or the Brown Bear book. That way you're kind of hearing the same things. Not only are you practicing listening while you're typing or typing while you're listening, but you're also practicing your keystrokes. And so as you type those things continuously, you should you should increase your speed. And if you practice listening to the same thing, you should notice that you should be able to type it a little bit faster or be able to keep up with them a little bit easier. Number 2, practice your memorization skills. This part of the test was is the most challenging part for me, is to the memorizing and then the 10-second pause. So not 10-second, 5-second pause. So there's a portion in the CritiCall test where they will say, 5, 6, 7, ABC. There'll be a pause of 5 seconds, and then you have to type what they said. Now for me, like I said, that was the trickiest part for me. So what I would suggest to you is that you work with somebody else. You work in, have a partner or a study partner if you have the opportunity or the availability to do that. I would write down characters from 6 to 10 digits, so enough for a license plate number as well as a phone number, because there'll be some of them that'll be 6 digits, some will be 7 or 8, so you just kind of have to practice all of those. I don't think there was ever a 10-digit one, but if you're an overachiever, why not? So I would definitely suggest writing about 10 of those on a index card or some kind of piece of paper. And then just give them to your friend or whoever, or even have them to write the numbers down. And then they read the numbers and letters, because there are numbers and letters. They read those aloud, have a timer set for 5 seconds, go, and then after 5 seconds, they allow you to recall it. Another thing that I did for memorization purposes was reading license plate numbers. That for me is like the best form of memory recall. Sometimes as I'm driving, if you can't multitask while you drive, then that's on you, and you shouldn't try this. But one thing that I do is I'll look at the license plate number ahead of me. I'll go back to it. I'll memorize it and look at it again and determine if I still have it in my mind. In my head, I still remember my license plate number from our Lincoln Town car in the 90s. So, you just have. All right, guys, and my top tip to help you to successfully pass the CritiCall test is, drumroll please, you hear me say this all the time, stay calm. If you can stay calm while taking the CritiCall test and you practice your memorization skills, you practice typing while someone is talking, you practice typing, period, increase your speed, and you work on your test taking skills like multiple choice and process of elimination, guys, there is no way that you should fail the CritiCall test. I promise you, I sat back and I analyzed every single CritiCall test that I took. And I believe that if you utilize and practice these 5 tips that I just gave you, along with my CritiCall video, which I will link down below in the description box, you should pass the CritiCall test. You should pass it. I believe in you. You should pass the CritiCall test if you follow these tips. They're not tricks. They are tips to help you. I promise. Well, I'm not supposed to give you false hope. I'm not supposed to do that. As a former 911 dispatcher that got in trouble for that, I'm not supposed to give you false hope. But I'm pretty damn sure that if you follow these tips, you should be able to pass the CritiCall test. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If not, you can give it a thumbs down. That's cool too. And if you're not subscribed, I really don't know why. Go ahead and take care of that. It's free. Doesn't cost you nothing. If you haven't, go ahead and click that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I drop another video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye.